what important food is sprayed into ships' holds?
How did the custom of awarding trophies originate?
Who's turning out offices that are virtually portable?
What's the purpose of this unique land yacht?
Industry on Parade, a brand new look at our America, produced on film each week by the National Association of Manufacturers.
The island of Hawaii. Here grows the most important crop in the islands, sugar cane. From plantations like this come more than 1 million tons of sugar a year, 1/4 of U.S. sugar production. In recent years, Hawaiian producers have faced stiffer and stiffer competition from producing areas nearer the mainland. This is a brief report on how they are meeting that competition. The cane is trucked to one of a number of small processing plants scattered over the islands. There it is washed and ground, and the extracted juice is boiled, evaporated, and whirled in a centrifuge to remove molasses and impurities. The resulting sugar, not yet completely refined, is brought by truck to a bulk loading plant, from which it will be shipped to the mainland. Here begins one of the remarkable cost-cutting operations that allows Hawaiian sugar to compete with that grown on or near the U.S. mainland. For many decades, the sugar was packed in bags at a cost in labor and materials of 20 cents per bag. No more. The wearisome, back-breaking job of loading the bags, then trundling them into the holds of ships is just about over. Now it's conveyor belt. First to vast storage bins, then on to the ship's hold. Matson Line's ships with specially designed holds receive the sugar in bulk. It took a lot of fabulously expensive equipment and an impressive amount of imaginative engineering, but they figured out a way of spraying the sugar into the holes so it couldn't shift in a heavy sea. When finally the ship is loaded with 10 or 12,000 tons of sugar, out it goes across 2,400 miles of Pacific waters to Crockett, California, and the C&H refinery, there to be completely refined and packaged for sale. Here at Crockett, more special equipment is used in getting the sugar out. An enclosed bucket conveyor is lowered into the cargo. Where loading and discharging with the bag method were a matter of days, now either operation takes only a few hours. This mechanization results in savings that offset the costs of shipping the product such a great distance. Once again, application of the most modern techniques and equipment serves to maintain our supply of an essential commodity at a price we can afford to pay.
The machines and tools you see on Industry on Parade were purchased by men and women of all walks of life who risked their savings by investing in American industry. America's 8.5 million shareholders put up the money to start a business or to help it grow. It takes an investment of about $12,000 on the average in plant, tools, and equipment to create a job these days. Increasing costs are making it harder to find people who, after paying their taxes, can spare enough cash to invest in new businesses, which in turn can and do create new jobs.
Industry on Parade stops by the L.G. Balfour Company of Attleboro, Massachusetts, to watch the making of trophies, the statuettes bestowed on groups or individuals for heroism, athletic achievement, or other types of accomplishment. Creation of a trophy begins as a drawing, which is then rendered in clay, applied to a wire skeleton. Originally, trophies were statues or monuments set up at or near the site of a military victory. Conquerors then took to making small representations of the statue or monument, and that's how our present-day medals and trophies evolved. From this clay model, a plaster mold will be made, and from that, a bronze mold, into which now is poured molten lead. As it comes into contact with the bronze, the lead hardens, and the excess can then be poured off. The hot casting is dipped in water to complete the hardening, and the hollow lead figure can then be removed from the mold. Projecting bumps and ridges are trimmed off. Before being plated, the trophies are buffed completely smooth, after which they'll be dipped first in a bath of nickel, then one of gold. Meanwhile, the base or pedestal for the figure is being formed, shaped from a flat metal disc by a process called spinning. Very deftly, he applies just the right pressure to give the metal the specified contours. Now, base and figure come together, and except for a few finishing touches like engraving an inscription on the base, the job is done. A relatively simple job in this case, compared with some of the more elaborate pieces turned out here, with dozens of parts and requiring weeks of painstaking labor. An example of the more elaborate type of work is the Vandenburg Trophy, given each year to the 3 top jet squadrons in the Air Force. A product of craftsmanship in the finest traditions of industry, it's a fitting token of gratitude to men who are creating fine new traditions of their own.
How can a group of girls share an office and still have privacy? Here's one answer: with partitions, which together with desks, tables, and other furniture make up adjustable units that can be rearranged to fit any office layout. One company that provides that answer is the Arnot-Jamestown division of Aetna Steel Products Corporation. Here at its plant in Jamestown, New York, manufacture of the partitionettes begins with the shearing and shaping of sheet steel, to which is added a blanket of soundproofing material. Internal reinforcing rods have been welded in place for strength and rigidity. Now the top of the sandwich will be welded on. While the partition panels are being assembled, parts for the other components, posts, desks, doors, and so on, are also being fabricated in similar operations. In painting, electrostatic action pulls the paint onto the surface, ensuring an even coat and safe working conditions. When the paint has been cured, the parts are assembled. Hardware, doors, and drawers are installed on the basic components, and the units are ready for crating and shipment. Here, laid out, are 2 packaged private offices. In an hour or so, they'll be all set to bring privacy and quiet into the life of a couple of office workers. A whole department can be subdivided or knocked down and reassembled overnight. The units come with either 2 or 3 walls, the other walls being created by adjoining units. Phone and light leads come up through the posts. So here they are, 2 offices where only a little more than an hour ago was only a bare floor. The glass panels help cut down the passage of office noise. This new approach to the matter of office efficiency is understandingly getting a lot of attention from architects, builders, and employers everywhere.
As Americans, we have faith in the ability of men and women to govern themselves. We believe that after all sides of a question have been heard, the decision of the majority is, for the most part, the voice of wisdom. There may be times when we are led astray by emotion or false prophecies, but in the long run, the average opinion of all the people is more reliable than that of an individual or a small group of individuals. Without such faith, self-government becomes impossible. If we are to serve the cause of democracy, we must reaffirm and strengthen our confidence in the individual citizen, which really means confidence in ourselves.
One of the newest of travel vehicles takes to the road. Not a trailer, not a truck. The unique mobile home has been best described as a land yacht. Remarkably, this most modern of vehicles, called the Safari, was produced in the plant it's passing now, the oldest factory in Saginaw, Michigan. There's a real study in contrasts here, with the old and the new side by side. 50 years ago, the firm was turning out big wooden pulley wheels, and it still turns them out today. The steam engine that spins the wheel is 75 or 80 years old, but clanks away at the same old job just as it has done from the beginning. And the shavings fly just as they have done since McKinley was president. So visitors find it a little surprising to see right in the same room all sorts of up-to-date tools and equipment being used in the assembly of the land yachts. Power saws, power drills, welding torches, and the like, cheek by jowl with that 80-year-old steam engine. But in both cases, the tool is appropriate to the job it must handle. Here's the Every night, they settle down in a different locale, selected when possible, with a view toward having a front yard that extends all the way to the horizon. Not a bad way to live, wouldn't you say?